Hi, Alan Combies here, transformational coach, helping you have a more pleasant experience of life overall. Today I wanted to talk about stress in the workplace. I recently came across an article that was written in January of this year, 2019, in Forbes magazine, and it was based on a survey that was done by an independent company. And this survey found that stress was on the rise. In fact, there was a 20% increase in stress in the workplace over the last 30 years, and it was continuing to mount. They also stated that 76% of people that were surveyed or felt that they took workplace stress with them into their personal life, and it was affecting their personal life. 66%, I think it was, of people surveyed say they're having trouble sleeping because of stress at the workplace. What's interesting to me is what this article surmised was the reason for work stress in the workplace. And this article surmised that the reason for stress in the workplace was management. Because there's high turnover with management, there's instability in their jobs, they're stressed out, and they pass that stress on to their employees. They also said that work is inherently stressful. Now, first of all, it doesn't surprise me that there is this idea that stress is mounting in the workplace, but I think it has less to do with managers and everything to do with our idea of what stress actually is. See, despite all of the tools and techniques that are designed to help you cope with stress, despite the movement of positive psychology and all of these different things, we still equate stress to something that happens outside of us. And the fact of the matter is, that is just not how it works. Stress is 100% an internal creation. And it's really created by, well, what is stress? Stress is our body reacting to our perception. Wherever our conscious awareness is focused in any given moment, it's going to determine our experience of life. So if my manager walks in, let's say, he walks into my office and he's got a look on his face, and that look on his face, I don't know what it is, but there's something brewing, right? And I don't realize it, but it's triggering an experience that I had, from my childhood. Maybe it's when dad, punished me, or maybe I got called out in class in school or something. But that look on that face, boy, that's just triggering that thing inside of me. And so I'm feeling stressed out. And then, of course, my manager has his own reality going on, and who knows what he's going through and what his experience has been. And so he's bringing something into the room. He's bringing his experience into the room. And together, we're creating this dance, right? So what's the answer there? Well, the answer is stress. We can't control what another person is experiencing. We're all walking around in separate realities, right? We have our own experiences, our own conditioning, and we see the world only as we see it. No one else can see the world the way you do. And so the best thing for us to begin to do is take responsibility for our own experience and recognize that when we are feeling stressed out, it has less to do with our environment and everything to do with where our awareness is focused, our consciousness is focused in that moment. I want you to think of your consciousness for a moment. And to illustrate this, I want you to put all your focus and attention now on your big toe. Just put all your attention and focus on that one body part now. And just notice that before now, you may as well have not even had that body part, that big toe or whatever, right? Because your consciousness wasn't focused on it. Well, it's the same with our thoughts. If we're wrapped up in thoughts and ideas of, oh, my boss, he's out to get me, my manager's out to get me, oh, this job is inherently stressful, I don't like the work I'm doing, I should be somewhere else. If our consciousness is focused on those thoughts, we're going to continue to get the experience of those thoughts. That's just the way it works. 100% of the time. And we can't escape that. We're always moving from one experience to the next. Now, it looks to me like, there's no shortage of tools to help us cope with stress. Hypnotherapy, meditation, mindfulness, EFT tapping, so many different things. But the challenge is many of those tools it's a step in the right direction, right? It's a step in controlling our state and everything else. But if we take even another step back, if we take even a further step back and really realize how that stress is happening, it's not really even what we're thinking, but it's the fact that it is thought in any given moment. If we can begin to really get that on a deeper and deeper level, well, it just, from where I sit, it enables us to not hold on so tightly to that experience, because in the back of our mind we know that, okay, this is just where my conscious awareness is focused in this minute. It really seems like it makes sense to keep focusing my attention here, but I know that this isn't permanent, right? It's like clouds in the sky. They're going to come, they're going to go. Right now these clouds are blocking out the sun. I can't see the sun, but I know the sun is still there. That seems to me to be the key. And this is something that you really need to see and understand for yourself. But in my line of work, one of the most beneficial things that I've found is really looking in this direction with my clients, really looking to the true nature of who you really are and how your experience is being created from moment to moment. As long as we're blaming our job or our managers, poor managers, as long as we're blaming them, right, for our stress, we're never going to get anywhere, or we're going to continue to fix things outside of us rather than turning inward and really building our relationship with ourself. I mean, that's really what it is. Getting to know ourselves better, getting to know how we create our experience, how our experience is being created, I should say. As we do this, there are some implications here. Well, there's some, I'll say, side effects. As we begin to improve our relationship with ourselves, well, guess what? Our relationship with others begins to improve as well. When we realize that our managers, let's say, are up against the same thing that we're up against, right? They're preoccupied with troubled, stressed out thinking. And so they're up against the same misunderstanding that we can get wrapped up in. So knowing that, if manager walks into my office and he's clearly stressed out, I may react, but then I might just pause for a moment and it might occur to me, oh, he's just wrapped up in troubled thinking. And I might pause and I might drop out of my stressful thinking. And in so doing, not only will that have an effect on my physiology, on my capacity to communicate, to connect with them, but it will also have an effect on the people around you. So the more you and I can begin to understand, once again, how our experience is being created from moment to moment, and really look for an expanded awareness of that, an expanded consciousness. In other words, if I'm in a problem state of mind, well, my consciousness is laser focused on that problem state of mind. But as I increase my level of awareness, increase my level of consciousness, I begin to see that, oh, that's just a little grain of sand on an immaculate beach. I can pull away from that and I can see that there's more to life than just that narrow focus that I had. And so doing that really allows us, again, to connect more with each other. And to me, this is one of the major keys to having a more, an overall more pleasant experience of life, whether it's in the workplace or at home or even sitting alone by yourself. All right. I hope this helps. I'd love to hear your comments. If you have any questions, I'm here, and really appreciate you listening all the way through. Until next time, this is Alan Comby's Transformational Coach. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.